So today is the day after Thanksgiving, 2023. Taking out my braids, and my Thanksgiving was very interesting, to say the least. Sorry, my cat always starts losing his mind as soon as I turn on the camera for whatever reason. So anybody who's been following my story, my journey as far as my biological father goes, I did locate my biological father. And after a lot of research, information, and confirmation through my mother and other sources, found out that he passed away in 2019. So I found out about him and his existence and my truth in 2018. And at that time I had begun searching, but there was a lot going on in my life at that time, with finding out that truth among some other really heavy things that were happening. And so I would search, and then I would stop, and I would search, and I would stop, and I just, you just think that you're gonna have time to figure it out. And unfortunately, he passed away a year later, a little over a year after I found that information out. And I'm processing that. Needless to say, it's a lot of information to process. And in a lot of ways, I don't know how to feel. I feel sad. I feel a sense of peace, but I also feel sad because a lot of questions may not ever be answered. And, I have to accept that. I really hoped that in this lifetime I would get the chance to meet him. And I didn't know how that would go. I didn't even know if he would be accepting of me but just to be able to see where I came from, And to a lot of people, it might seem silly and ridiculous, and I don't have any upset around how I was raised and the father I was raised by, because I truly believe that I was raised by the right person. And I'll always believe that. I don't think I was meant to be raised by this other man at all. When I've told the story in the past of finding out the truth, and that my father was not my biological father, and I had a different father, and this, that, and the other, there were different people in different ways who were very dismissive. Like, okay, well, like, who cares? You have a dad who raised you. So, like, why do you need to find the other one? And to me, that's just so rude. It's very dismissive of me as a person, because I'm getting to know myself, as we all are, in my 30s. However, there's been a whole side of me missing for my entire life. And I'm not saying that my father was the missing piece. I'm saying my truth was missing. My heritage, my background, my ancestral history, my lineage. To kind of just look over that, to me, is ridiculous. Why would I? And again, maybe it's just my experience or my way of thinking, but I think anybody, if you're working to get to know yourself as a human being, regardless of the circumstances, you should know certain things. You should know where you come from. You should know where certain traits come from, or mannerisms, or looks, or, you know, any possible health concerns, or just history. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it just fascinates me. But you know, people telling me, well, to me, like, you're the same person, or, you know, to me, I still see you as, you know, Mexican or whatever, is completely dismissing the truth of who I am and who I am seeing myself as. You don't get to tell me who I am just because of maybe who I am to you or have been to you. That's irrelevant, because who I am to me is what matters. And that goes for anybody and everybody. Anyway, I'm still working to connect with more family members. A lot of this came about because I did connect with a cousin. He was listed as a possible first or second cousin on Ancestry, and that is what made me reach out to him, because I had not had anybody come across as, you know, a first cousin, much less a second cousin. And so, though I have seen a ton of cousins pop up, they're all like fourth, fifth cousins, you know, like way down the line. And so to see, oh, this is your potential first or second cousin, was like, whoa, that's close. You know, that's getting me somewhere. And though my cousin didn't know my father, he was able to put a lot of pieces together for me that helped me to find eventually what would be the obituary of my father. And so I'm still working to find more family members. I did see who the surviving immediate family members are. I found out through, not through Ancestry, but I found out actually through my mom that I have a sibling that I was never told of. And I, you know, would like to find that sibling as well. So Search continues. I'll never know, and I'll never know my biological father in this lifetime. And as much as I wanted to, it's okay. I can't give up the idea of still meeting myself and other people. Sorry, my bra is totally in the background. And it probably has been this whole video. That doesn't mean I give up on learning more about me and finding what information I can, finding what family I can. Okay, so I cannot go to the source, and I will never be able to, but perhaps I can meet an uncle or an aunt or this sibling of mine, or who, by the way, was also not raised by my father, our father, so to speak. So I don't know what they know of their upbringing. And so that's another thing where I have to tread lightly and be careful, because I don't know what their story is. And I don't know that they know, this information. So it's another thing where it's just being cautious, being careful. So it's really all I have to say about it right now. I have more to say, more to share. It's just, I'm just not in that headspace right now. I'm still processing a lot, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel any grief. Obviously, you saw me tear up. Obviously, it's something that is affecting me, and so yeah, I do feel like I'm grieving in a way. I'm not necessarily grieving him. It's just grieving a part of me that I may never understand or come to know, and have certain answers to. But I'm not, like I said, this doesn't mean I give up hope. I think reading his obituary really put a few things into perspective for me about him and his life, and truly it gives me clarity on the empathy that I have for so many people for whom I just feel life is just not fair. And life's not fair for any of us, but I've always had an extremely deep sensitivity to people living their lives a certain way. And now I think I know why. And so a lot of the pain and the anger that I imagine he was in his lifetime, it just makes me It just makes me sad. And again, I don't regret anything. I truly believe that I was raised exactly how I was supposed to be raised, in the sense of who my parents were, who my father is. None of that, I believe, is wrong. And I believe that this man was just the vessel to get me here and be here on this planet. So I'll give some more background in another video. Very interesting that I am unraveling my braids at this time, because it's like a symbolism of me unraveling so much more. So, thanks for listening, if you've made it this far. And if you are searching for answers in any capacity for yourself, your family, your heritage, your DNA, I encourage you to do so. And it might hurt people at first, and it might scare a lot of people at first, and it might trigger people. But I feel like this is the beginning, another new beginning for me. But I really feel like I am stepping into who I am, and I do feel a sense of like, wow, like, even if it's not my father I get to meet, I am connected with, this cousin of mine, and shared photos and things of just people who are my family and want to connect with me and want to get to know me and want to help me unravel more of this and peel back more layers and help me find his immediate family, because they're his family too. So I encourage anybody on this search, or anybody who has questions about who they are or their upbringing, or if things have ever felt off to you, go for it. And you may see me sad right now because of the circumstances, and yeah, I am. But that's only one piece of it. It doesn't mean that I regret any of this. I am so glad that I took it upon myself to take that first 23andMe DNA test. I'm so, like, the person I am today versus who I was 5-6 years ago, I know myself on such a different level. Like, it's insane. And learning this information, although it's hard, I've been able to still learn about him and find ways that I get to still connect with him. And that to me is like irreplaceable. And maybe we were just never meant to know each other. And it could just be purely that we were meant to, that our souls had an agreement to bring me into this world, and that's how it was supposed to happen. And that's fine. It doesn't mean it's not gonna sting a little bit. So, don't let the tears fool you. It's a healing process, as is everything. But I am thankful to finally get at least one piece of the puzzle, put together in a way. I at least located him. I at least know. I know certain things. I know his birth date. It's like knowing about him helps me to know about me. And to me, that's a wonderful gift. So, like I said, thank you if you've stayed this far. And there's more to come. I'm not done sharing, okay? I've got more background information to share. I've got, you know, and I've got more work to do. I've got more research to do. I'm not done here. So if you've been following my journey this far, it doesn't end here. There's still more to uncover. There's still more to see. There's more to people to meet. There's more stories to hear. There's more. I have yet to see a picture of him. There wasn't a picture attached to the obituary. However, my mom is looking to see if she can find any pictures of him for me. I'm gonna finish taking these braids out. If you have any questions about anything, as usual, ask away. I will answer what I'm comfortable responding to. I still have a lot of questions that have been asked of me on Instagram and TikTok that I want to make a YouTube video answering to as well. So I will do that. And thanks for being on this journey with me.